Last week I reviewed a super cool LEGO compatible RC car which I compared to a LEGO Speed Champion. A viewer correctly mentioned that the CADA RC is a 10 stud wide car which is decidedly larger than a Speed Champ, which means there is no 8 stud wide Speed Champ RC car. Until today. That's right, this is a real Speed Champ sized car powered by an RC motor. How does it work and how much is it? Does it drive better than the CADA RC? And can I park it cleanly without hitting another car? All that and more in today's Brick Score review. This set is from a brand called Pingao Blocks, at least that's what it says on the box. It is very likely that these cars have different names when being sold around the world. I saw these at the mall and what really caught my eye was this RC controller. It's a pistol grip style transmitter which has got to be better than CADA's toy-like remote, right? Right?
Bruh.
Only one way to find out. Inside the box is a plastic bag with all the bricks and this big RC unit. The bags are unnumbered so you have to pour out all the parts on your desk or into little trays. I personally use 3D printed build trays so I don't miss pieces. The instructions are in this simple booklet which has you building directly on the unit right away. And the first thing that I noticed about the bricks are the inconsistent colors of the plastic. That is like 3 different shades of green randomly distributed throughout the vehicle. The assembly is a little fiddly but nothing too bad. What is bad is the fact that I was missing a piece. It's this slope piece right here. I checked and double checked the plastic bag and box and it's not there. I just used this leftover piece so it's hopefully less noticeable. The car stays together fine. The clutch power is as expected of alt bricks. Not as good as CADA so definitely lower quality than the name brand. One challenge during building was near the end which was this rear bumper with 6 short technique pins. They shift a lot when you try to line them up so it was difficult to attach. I got it eventually after some mild frustration. The overall look of this car resembles the Lamborghini Sian and I use the word resemble very loosely here. It's like they wanted to replicate the Lambo Sian but only had $10 worth of bricks around. And $10 is actually close to what I paid for here but more on the value of this set later. Let's just say I could afford 2 of these sets for the price of a single Speed Champ. Scale-wise, it is an 8 wide car and even mixed in with other original and alternative Speed Champions, you won't really know which one is an RC. Like the CADA, you won't be able to add your own driver because there is no space here under the windshield. But I wish someone would design a drive unit with a seat for a minifig, that would be super cool. There aren't any interactive parts here like an opening door or hood, it's all fixed in place. You can sort of lift the hood but that is more an unintended consequence of the build technique. Stickers! This set came with some really ugly stickers that I refuse to use on this set. This looks great even without stickers that say 63 and super speed or sports car. Why deface a perfectly fine brick-built vehicle? From the side, you see the tiny wheels that have plastic rubber tires. They don't appear particularly grippy but they haven't slipped on my desk surface yet. This car is very similar to the Stemu generic Lambo. Similar size and shaping but they are both built differently. Mostly because of the RC drive unit in this one, but from the front and rear you would be forgiven for thinking that they may be related. And this is the pistol grip transmitter. It's in white and orange just like the one from CADA. What is it with these companies and white and orange controllers? Anyway, when I first saw it on the box I was hoping for it to have proportional steering. Listen close if you can hear the moment the switch triggers. So yeah, it's not really proportional, it's still an on-off switch. So much for a better control experience. Actually, after some testing, this might be worse for me. You see, when I was buying this, I forgot to consider if I can properly use the trigger throttle with my disability. It's not easy but I will make it work somehow. So are you ready for some RC LEGO parking shenanigans? But first we need some batteries. No children's toy is safe when I need double A's. The controls aren't very good on this. Other than being non-proportional, the steering tends to get stuck in the left or right direction. At first I thought it was the wheels catching on the wheel well, but I removed them and it still happens, so it's definitely something else. Also, I think the motors were not appropriately sized. It can barely move even with fresh batteries. It seems the brick-built chassis was too heavy. Let's try this again later. For now, check out this second RC car I bought. This is the cyberpunk-inspired RC Speed Champ. Actually, I have zero idea what car this is supposed to be. If you know, then please ease our curious minds by letting us know in the comment section below. I love the pink, blue, and black colors of this car as well as the more rounded aesthetic. It's still Speed Champ size, which is wonderful. The spoilers here on the back can be adjusted because they are on little arms. Nothing else articulates on this set. There are no moving doors, hood, or trunk. On the front part, you see it super low to the ground with this lowered and protruding bumper. Up here, you see a sticker of a symbol which kind of looks like a letter S, though I am not sure. Speaking of stickers, there are a couple more here. This geometric-like pattern is a sticker, as well as this logo on the spoiler. The headlights use inverted dome tiles in trans yellow to represent large headlights. The rims are pink while the rim covers are in black. The rear features the mufflers and some nice shaping. Unfortunately, the pieces here are super loose, especially these cylinder pieces. I had to add some blue tack to keep them attached. This is the first brick build set that I have built that come with zero leftover pieces, as in none, nada, zilch. I found it odd, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. On the underside, you see the same drive unit as earlier. Let's turn this on. Surprisingly, or perhaps unsurprisingly, the same remote control from the earlier set can control this one. From what I can tell, if both sets are on, it switches between them whenever you toggle the power. I was low-key hoping they would both move at the same time so I could attempt some tandem driving stunts, but my ideas were thwarted by common sense. Here are the two sets side by side. My favorite has got to be the Cyberpunk car. It's a bold statement to choose pink and blue as your car color. It looks a bit like a fastback with humongous headlights in neon styling. Not to say that the Lambo looks bad, but I feel like I've seen it before, which is the truth. Remember the Temu generic I showed you earlier? I feel like Lambo ripoffs are a dime a dozen at this point. Here are the sets next to other Speed Champions. Here are the sets next to the CADA RC from last week. You can see that it's a lot smaller and more compact. I can't believe that I haven't seen more mainstream alt brands like CADA or Mold King attempt a true 8-wide RC car. That would have been amazing. And here they are next to cars from Mold King. Yeah, this is not working. The rear wheels don't move if the steering is to the side. It gets stuck and it won't move forward without going back a bit. Hold on, let me try something.
A few moments later.
Well, that's something. I had to remove all the bricks and it still drives like a brick, but at least it's easier to park with the new smaller size. Accessibility. They are quick and easy to build with a ridiculously low parts count thanks to the pre-assembled drive unit. The booklet was fine, but the instructions were a little overwhelming at times. I felt like they condensed two steps into one in some steps with the amount of bricks being attached. The design and the use of technique pieces in the rear were fiddly and difficult, so even if the build was mercifully brief, I am unable to give a high score. Accessibility score of 3 out of 5 stars. Quality. The looks of the set met the expectations I have based on the pictures on the box. They are the perfect size for displaying and playing on your desk. This remote looks cheap, and that's because it is cheap. It's a non-proportional controller that is only slightly more manageable than the CADA's remote buttons. The actual drive unit though is super bad. It gets stuck and can barely carry its own weight forward. Quality score of 3 out of 5 stars. Value. I got this set for the low price of $12 each. So I got two sets for $24, which is less than the $24.99 SRP of the Fast and Furious Skyline GTR. So yeah, value score of 5 out of 5 stars. That was not very fun. I recommend getting something else to scratch your RC itch. It's a fine display, but if you want something to play with, this is not it. Next time, I think I'm just gonna buy a real RC car and turn it into a brick-built Speed Champion. And if you haven't seen last week's video, be sure to check it out by clicking this link on your screen. See you there.